The last time we visited the New South Wales Rail Museum at Thirlmere was on Sunday, March 1st, 2020, celebrating the return of steam for the year. But 4 weeks after our last visit, the museum and the steam season was temporarily suspended due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and governments had implemented social distancing regulations to help stop the spread. And that includes the closure of non-essential businesses, including the New South Wales Rail Museum. But between Saturday, July 4th to Sunday, July 5th, 2020, the museum was once again open to the public due to the easing of the regulations. But with social distancing guidelines still intact, patrons are limited to 250 through a morning session via booking system from the museum. We are here on July 4th for a special members only day, and while no steam train rides were happening at the time of attending this event, there was however one locomotive on display at the museum's amphitheatre in steam. Newly restored 3801 is seen here for the first time in its green with a yellow lining livery on public display, offering cab visits to its adoring fans. During the pandemic, the legendary locomotive had undergone a light engine run from Glenlee to Thirlmere on Thursday, May 7th, and then underwent adhesion trials in the Cowan Bank near Hawkesbury River using special equipment to simulate rain on Wednesday, May 13th, which had passed with flying colours. We witnessed the locomotive on its return run from Hawkesbury River at Campbelltown Station on Thursday, May 14th, 2020. You can see the clip on our Facebook page. The link is provided in the description box below.
You don't want to sit on the driver's seat? Okay. Do you want to just look at the phone?
You're going to sit in the driver's seat, Arthur.
Oh, no. So look at your hand now.
Arthur, you're going to sit in the driver's seat. What? You're going to sit in the driver's seat and then I'll take a picture.
Yeah.
We will now witness one of the best sounds to hear from a steam locomotive. Months had passed since we attended the open day back in July, and between Saturday, September 19th to Sunday, September 20th, 2020, shuttle trains from Thirlmere to Buxton are running once again, with New South Wales Rail Museum's 3526 providing rides. Despite the dismal weather, crowds turn out to see it on the Sunday as 3526 makes its way through Kirrajard. Next, we see the loco and its train at Buxton. Due to COVID protocol, passengers aren't allowed to disembark at Buxton, of course due to stopping any potential spreading of the virus among members of the public. "3526 is now uncoupled and will now make its way to the back of the train and then makes its way to Thirlmere. The 35-class loco is now at Thirlmere, and will now shunt its way for more water at the water tower nearby the museum. The dismal weather provides an amazing steamy atmosphere. We will now conclude the day with 3526 departing on its second last shuttle trip for the day. For 6 days, Tuesday, September 22nd to Sunday, September 27th, 2020, 3801 from the New South Wales Rail Museum was conducting trips from Picton to Moss Vale and sometimes Goulburn for mechanical testing and crew training. Before we see the famous locomotive, a Pacific National train is seen rolling through at Bargo Station on the Sunday. Ever since August 2020, 3801 had undergone a problem with its boiler pressure, but after 6 days with no faults found, it seems the problem had been fixed by the volunteers at the New South Wales Rail Museum. After seeing it through Bargo, 4490, also from the museum, is now seen pulling the train at 3801 back to Thirlmere at Buxton.
Blow the whistle now.
You say that about the whistle. New one of the.
Then we see it passing through the Thirlmere banks. We will have more on 3801 in our upcoming Welcome Back 3801 video in the near future. Mainline steam had finally returned since the COVID-19 outbreak in March. The first train is the Kiama Picnic Train, which was the last heritage train we filmed before the global pandemic started in March. The train is hauled by 5917, which is owned by the 5917 Syndicate as it passes through Banksia on Saturday, October 24, 2020, heading its way to Sutherland to pick up its first load of passengers for Kiama. Of course, with social distancing regulations still intact, passengers who had booked the trip to Kiama are required to have temperature checks, wear face masks, and required to stay in their seats except for toilet breaks during the journey. We see the locomotive making its return journey from Kiama through Oatley. Next day, Sunday, October 25th, we see 5917 heading its way through Alloa before picking up passengers at Sutherland once again. Unfortunately, the nightmare of electric trains passing by ruining enthusiasts' shots still continue even with a pandemic. But however, pandemic or not, public transport still rolls on. Unlike the Saturday, 4716 from the Lachlan Valley Railway is seen behind the train, assisting. We now move to Carlton, and despite it being springtime in Australia, wind and rain had come, but it didn't spoil our shot of 5917 charging through on its way to Sydney. This is where we conclude Rail Around New South Wales for November 2020.